Hey everyone, welcome to Revenge and Regret. If you love shocking stories, real betrayals, and unforgettable moments of revenge, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive deep into the most jaw-dropping tales that'll leave you speechless. Stay tuned because you won't want to miss a single twist. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss any of our mind-blowing stories. And if you've been through something wild yourself, share it in the comments. We might just feature it in our next video. Now, sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's story.
The key wouldn't turn. It scraped uselessly against the lock, refusing to engage. My breath hitched, confusion quickly morphing into a cold, sickening dread that started low in my stomach. This was my shop. Our shop. The little bookstore cafe Sarah and I had poured our blood, sweat, tears, and every last penny into for 3 years. My key always worked. I rattled the handle again, harder this time, peering through the darkened glass window. And that's when I saw her. Sarah. My business partner. My best friend since kindergarten. Standing inside, bathed in the eerie glow of the security lights, talking on her phone. She looked up, saw me, and her expression, it wasn't surprise. It wasn't concern. It was flat. Cold. Almost triumphant. And in that instant, seeing that look, feeling the useless key in my hand, the sickening dread solidified into horrific certainty. I knew. Oh God, I knew she had done something terrible. The first 2 years were amazing, actually. Tough, yes. Long hours, tight budgets, the usual small business struggles. But we were making it work. We built a loyal customer base, hosted successful author events, got great reviews. The shop was becoming a real community hub, exactly as we'd dreamed. Our friendship felt stronger than ever, forged in the fire of entrepreneurship. We navigated disagreements, celebrated small victories, leaned on each other during tough weeks. I never, not for one single second, questioned her motives or her loyalty. Why would I? She was Sarah. My Sarah. The shift was subtle at first. So subtle I dismissed it. Maybe 6 months ago? She started taking more meetings off-site. Mentioned new suppliers I hadn't heard of, decisions made about marketing pushes without our usual quick chat first. When I'd ask gently, she'd wave it off. Oh, just boring contract stuff, didn't want to bother you, or trying a new targeted ad approach, just testing it out. Plausible deniability. And because I trusted her implicitly, because she was the business brain in many ways, I let it go. I focused on my side of things, buried in spreadsheets and scone recipes. Then came the whispers. Small things. An unusually large payment to a consulting firm I didn't recognize on the bank statement. Sarah being vague about where certain funds were allocated. A couple of times, I overheard snippets of hushed phone calls she quickly ended when I walked into the office. That cold dread, the one I felt at the locked door, started as a tiny, prickling unease months earlier. But I kept pushing it down. Don't be paranoid. It's Sarah. You're stressed, imagining things. She'd never do anything to hurt the business, or you. I actively chose to trust, ignoring the mounting evidence that felt too painful, too unbelievable to confront. It's terrifying how effectively cognitive dissonance can shield you from unbearable truths. The catalyst for the final implosion came during our quarterly review with the accountant. He flagged several significant expenditures, large wire transfers to accounts I didn't recognize, draining our operating capital far faster than our revenues supported. He looked concerned. Are you aware of these investments, these payouts? He asked, looking between Sarah and me. I stared blankly at the figures, my blood running cold. Sarah jumped in smoothly. Yes, absolutely, she said, smiling brightly. Strategic restructuring. Expanding our digital footprint. Necessary back-end investments. She rattled off buzzwords, sounding completely confident, completely plausible. She even winked at me, a gesture meant to reassure, but it landed like ice in my gut. It felt rehearsed. False. After the accountant left, I tried to press her. "Sarah, what were those payments? We didn't discuss any major restructuring like that." She became defensive. Agitated. "Look, I handle the strategy, you handle the muffins, right? Trust me on this. It's for the good of the business. You worry too much." She shut down the conversation, grabbed her bag, and left, claiming another urgent supplier meeting. That conversation, that blatant dismissal, the defensiveness, that was the moment the trust didn't just feel strained, it felt fractured. The unease turned into full-blown alarm. Something was deeply wrong. I spent that night sleepless, digging through online bank records, emails I had access to, trying to piece together a puzzle I desperately didn't want to solve. The picture that emerged was horrifying. Payments to shell companies. Contracts I'd never seen. Hints of something else being set up, parallel to our shop. Using our funds. And that brings us back to the next morning. To me, standing outside the locked door of my own business, my key useless in my hand. Seeing her face through the glass. Remember that? That cold, triumphant look? Yes. This was the callback. The moment all the ignored red flags, the dismissed anxieties, the fractured trust, collided with brutal, undeniable reality. She wasn't just making bad decisions, she had systematically, deliberately, locked me out. Stolen from me. Betrayed everything. My business. Our dream. 30 years of friendship. Incinerated. Looking at her through that glass, yeah. That was the point of no return. That was the moment trust officially died and the toxic aftermath began. The confrontation that followed, once she finally, smugly, unlocked the door only to block my entry, it wasn't loud or dramatic like in the movies. It was low. Vicious. Cold. She laid it all out with chilling composure. She'd been setting up her own, similar business online, using our shared capital as seed money. She'd leveraged our supplier contacts, our customer database. She'd legally restructured things behind my back, advised by some slick lawyer, essentially squeezing me out, leaving me with the debts and the physical shell of the shop while she pivoted to her new, debt-free venture. She claimed I was holding the business back with my lack of vision. Claimed she was doing what was necessary for growth. The gaslighting was breathtaking. There was no remorse. No apology. Just cold, hard ambition wrapped in the language of betrayal. She told me my key wouldn't work anymore because she'd changed the locks. That the locks represented the new direction. She advised me to get my own lawyer. And then she shut the door in my face. Literally. Leaving me standing there on the pavement, the useless key digging into my palm, the weight of 30 years of friendship crushing me, the future I'd poured my soul into dissolving before my eyes. The immediate fallout was devastating, doesn't even cover it. Financial ruin stared me in the face. The shop was hemorrhaging money, suppliers were unpaid, rent was due. Legal battles commenced immediately, ugly, expensive, soul-destroying battles trying to untangle the mess she'd created, trying to salvage something. It consumed my life, my savings, my energy. Friends we shared were forced to choose sides, creating awkwardness, suspicion, broken connections. The community we'd built at the cafe watched the drama unfold, whispers following me. The shame, the humiliation, it was almost as bad as the financial stress. Having your trust so spectacularly betrayed, so publicly, it makes you feel incredibly stupid. Naive. How could I have missed it? How could I have been so blind to the person sleeping metaphorically right next to me?
Life now is a process of rebuilding from the ground up. The Page and Pour is gone. We had to declare bankruptcy. The legal fight salvaged very little financially, but maybe a shred of my dignity. The emotional cost is harder to quantify. Learning to trust again. That's the real challenge. Trusting new friends, potential business partners, even trusting my own judgment. That toxic trust story has left deep scars. It makes you second-guess everything, analyze every motive, build walls where there used to be open doors. It changes your fundamental wiring about human connection. Did Sarah's venture succeed? I hear whispers. Maybe. I try not to follow it. Dwelling on her doesn't help my recovery. The reflection part, what did I learn? That trust should be earned continuously, not just assumed based on history. That even the deepest bonds can corrode if not tended to with honesty. That ignoring red flags, however painful, is a recipe for disaster. And maybe that I'm stronger than I thought. Surviving this kind of toxic trust story, this level of betrayal, requires digging deep for a resilience you didn't know you had. It's not a story with a happy ending tied up in a neat bow. It's a story of wreckage, survival, and slow ongoing recovery. The poison from that toxic trust story takes a long time to leach out of your system. But I'm working on it, putting one foot in front of the other, trying to believe that not everyone operates from a place of deception, trying to rebuild my life, my finances, and most importantly, my faith in my own ability to see clearly. That toxic trust story almost broke me, but almost is the key word. The journey back is long, but I'm walking it. I survived that toxic trust story. It's hard to believe someone you love and trust implicitly could be capable of such deep betrayal, right? But sometimes the warning signs are there, and we choose not to see them until it's too late. Have you ever experienced something similar? Let me know. You're not alone.